Welcome back, Cozy Dreamlights. Come join me on a spooky and challenging adventure. Today we are decorating our graveyard behind the Nightmare Castle while also incorporating the Haunted Mansion in the Forgotten Lands. And this is a challenging build because we're working with a very confined area. I am almost out of room in the Forgotten Lands, and also we're not able to move our treehouse yet. I hope that one day Disney allows us to do that. If you watch my previous video on the Nightmare Castle build, we will be keeping the infamous Jack Skellington Hill right where it is, but we'll be working around it. So I will be starting with the pathing from the Nightmare Castle here, and then there's also another exit on the other side of the Nightmare Castle that we will incorporate pathing from to this build as well. I do want to apologize ahead of time as this video is quite chaotic. I recorded in 4 different intervals, so it is a bit messy, but I made sure to keep the important decorating parts in this video, so I hope you enjoy regardless. For this pathing, I'm going to be using a combination of the Sinister brick road, both the bordered and unbordered, as the transition area, and we'll do that on the right side too later on in the video. The aesthetic that we're going for is dark cottagecore, so I'm going to be incorporating kind of like a stepping stone path that also looks quite, worn down. I ended up trying out multiple different types of roads or pathing for the entrance to the Haunted Mansion. I do not end up keeping this look, but I do end up going with the bordered white brick road eventually. I ended up changing that later because I just like the look better, and we didn't have it coming down on either side either. So you'll see that later. But here we're just kind of working to put in some foliage, and also we're going to work on putting in the fencing. I'm using a combination of the brick fence and also the dark, I guess it would be the dark brick fence, like the gothic looking fence. And I found that when you pair those two up, it like almost matches perfectly to the vibe and aesthetic of the mansion. I know that if you've played this game, you understand that it is kind of funny and difficult to get things perfectly aligned. So enjoy watching me struggle as I make sure that everything is aligned and symmetrical for the most part during the fencing. Originally, I thought that this would be a really difficult build because this was really the only spot that my haunted mansion fit, and I had it tucked away in this little corner. But having it paired with the Jack Skellington Hill and the pumpkins, it gives me like kind of a trick-or-treating vibe because like you're kind of walking around a corner and like you're finding a house, and it looks like the girl from Hocus Pocus, like her parents' house, and I just like had those vibes. So um it's just it worked out a lot better than I thought it would than I thought it would, and I'm happy with the placement. And for a small build, I felt like it looks pretty good. So I hope that this is helpful if you, like me, were having issues trying to find a good place to put the mansion, as it is such a massive item. And I am doing my best here to try to fill in some gaps in that main, well, I guess it would technically be the right side entrance from the Nightmare Castle. So we'll fill in some gaps here. But now I'm kind of just like throwing down items to play with. In this build, I wasn't really sure like what I wanted to do. Like I had an idea for the graveyard, but I wasn't sure how I wanted to actually implement it. So I just started throwing down items that I thought would fit well in this area, and that's what we're doing now. So here is where I ended up changing the pathing, and I just felt like it really matched the pillars well on the Haunted Mansion. So we did take out the other pathing and replaced it with the bordered one here. am kind of jumping around in this video just because we are working with almost like 3 different areas, 2 transition areas, and then our main focus, which will be the graveyard. So I wanted to make sure that everything looked cohesive. Right now, I'm just kind of throwing down the gravestones that I intend to use, and we're going to get started on working on creating our graveyard. If you remember my Nightmare Castle build, I really like the look of this fence behind the gravestones. So we're going to continue that look here. I have seen so many other creators pull from their imagination different ways to create a graveyard look. One of my personal favorites is seeing someone use the empty soil plot, which was so cute and creative. But I wanted to go for a darker vibe, so we will be using the muddy border path as I haven't seen anyone use this idea yet, and I think it looks really nice. I do love the cobweb trees, which was from last year's Star Path. I think it was from the Star Path, but it doesn't look like we have room for it to be like directly into our build. So I will be shifting items to out of this area so we can kind of get more of a look of how we want this graveyard to be decorated. And now I'm going to move some items and work on the fencing towards the back of the build, towards the treehouse. So now that we have the main setup of the graveyard, it's pretty symmetrical. We're going to go ahead and focus on other details and the fencing. And this was a bit tricky because the treehouse extends so much. There's like a really strange area next to it where you can't place items or even like pumpkins when I would grow pumpkins. So we're gonna do our best to make it work. Since our other graves are spread out, I thought it would be cute to have like two put together. And so now we're working on a different transition area towards Merlin's, which will complete towards the end of the video. I'm going to add in some trees and other details here. I feel that this build was difficult because we had a limited amount of space to work with. So I hope that it is helpful to you if you're kind of in the same position as me. So I'm adding some worn down, broken up, sinister brick pathing to kind of like I don't know what that would be called, kind of like a gargoyle chair area, and also to the exit towards the treehouse. And I'm also adding in kind of like a stepping stone path, similar to what we did with the transition areas right in front of Jack Skellington's hill from the mansion to the graveyard. So now I'm going to add in some of the thorns, and then also to give this like a graveyard, like overgrown graveyard feel, I thought that adding in the meadow grass, since it's kind of like a light purple color, would look really pretty and kind of like sinister in the Forgotten Lands. And I really like the way that this came out. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. I was really excited to start decorating the gravestones because I had some cute ideas for that. Some plants, not too many, but also those purple looking pumpkin seats. They look like purple pumpkins, which is like really cool. And then I think it's called the green vase. And I think that I don't remember where it's from, but I got it in Scrooge's shop a while ago, and I thought that looks kind of like a urn, so I put that on one of the gravestones too. And here I'm adding in some of the Forest of Valor bracken. It kind of mixes up and looks really nice with the meadow grass, and it has like that dark look to it. I always use the barrels and the half barrels in every build, so we're going to try to find a place for that right now. Melted candles are an absolute must-have for any type of graveyard. They look so pretty and kind of like almost like a vigil to those we have lost. Rest in peace, Zero. So I did go ahead and I lit all the candles, and then we're going to finish up the lighting here. We're going to finish up the last of the item details. I am going to add in a few pumpkins, but not too many as we had so much in our Nightmare Castle build, and I don't want them to take away from the graveyard. I felt like the build needed more trees, so we're going to go ahead and add in some more of those. think that we're catching the vibe. I'm really liking how this looks so far. If you made it this far, consider joining the Discord, the official Discord down in the description down below, where you'll meet a lot of cozy friends and you'll be able to share your builds. I also recently made a Facebook page too. If you join the Discord, I do have the link posted in the Discord if you're interested. We'll add in some of the Forgotten Lands ferns because they look really, really beautiful with the contrast between the dark purple and the more maroon purple. Finally, we'll make some small adjustments from the transition area from the mansion to Merlin's and also the exit to fairy godmothers as well. Once we finish the broken and worn down pathing here, I think it is time to add a couple more details to the Haunted Mansion. I'm going to keep it pretty simple because we already have a lot of items down and it's kind of a smaller build towards the mansion anyway. Okay, it's time to run through our build. This is around sunset, and then I'll also show you what it looks like at nighttime as well. I really love the look of the Forgotten Lands at sunset. It makes it look spookier. I don't even know how to explain it, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm really happy with this build, and I felt like it was such a challenge considering the space that I have left. Let me know in the comments what you think of the graveyard build and if you put a graveyard in your Forgotten Lands. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, make sure to like this post, and turn on notifications if you enjoyed your time with me today and for more inspo. I hope that you all have a spooky but lovely day.